The last flight, the cloud where guilt dissolves. You unlock this sky with the key of a single fear. It is the year 1917. Somewhere over France, Lieutenant William Terence Decker of the Royal Flying Corps circles above the clouds, believing the enemy is behind him, never realizing the real pursuit is within his own mind. This is the story of a pilot who thought he was lost in the air, but was really lost in time, and time in this case will be measured in eternities. Decker flies through a white cloud and the engine falls silent. No sound, no wind, no weight. He emerges into another century, 1959, and lands on an American airbase that should not yet exist. Every jet that surrounds him is a thought he cannot comprehend. He has left one dream and entered another. He is taken to Major Wilson and General Harper, two men who serve reason as their god. They question him, study the antique uniform, the pistol, the accent. When they tell him the date, March 5th, 1959, his world collapses. The ego cannot bear proof that its own history is false. Decker learns that his old comrade, Air Vice Marshal Alexander Mackay, is alive, a hero of the Second World War. He insists that cannot be, because guilt insists that innocence cannot survive. He confesses, "I'm a coward. I fired bullets through my own cockpit walls so the chaps would think I'd been in a fight." This is the confession of the world, pretending courage to disguise its terror of truth. Decker's fear is not of death but of discovery. He says he could not bear to be found out, to have the mask stripped away. That is every mind that believes in ego. It hides behind uniforms and medals, behind titles and bodies, terrified that the self will shine through. When Wilson tells him that Mackay lived, Decker sees the paradox. If Mackay survived, then someone must have helped him. And the only one who could have helped is himself. Time folds inward. He realizes he has been sent here to return, to go back and undo the lie. This is the holy instant, when guilt is replaced by willingness. He escapes, strikes the guard, runs for his biplane. "You'll have to shoot me to stop me," he cries. That is forgiveness speaking through him, love declaring itself unstoppable. Wilson lowers the gun. The old craft lifts off, straight back into the cloud of silence. Moments later, Air Vice Marshal Mackay arrives at the base. He recounts how Decker returned out of nowhere, guns blazing. He calls him a hero, and time, obedient to forgiveness, rewrites its own record. The past is no longer what guilt said it was. The cloud was never weather. It was the veil of perception dissolving, the instant when a divided mind remembered it was whole. Decker did not fix history. He accepted correction. He realized that nothing had ever gone wrong except his belief that it had. Now Mackay holds Decker's identification and laughs through tears. "Maybe you'd better sit down, old lead bottom." The world smiles because forgiveness has landed. Dialogue from a play written long before men took to the sky. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. There are more things in forgiveness than the ego can ever dream. Somewhere between heaven and earth, between maps and miles, he found what no instrument can chart, the still point where eternity waits, in the Twilight Zone. Witness flight, Lieutenant William Terence Decker, Royal Flying Corps, a man who believed courage was measured in bullets and time was measured in miles. But in a cloud somewhere between two wars, he discovered another dimension, where guilt is the only gravity and forgiveness the only flight. He flew once into fear and vanished, then flew again into love and was never seen by history, only remembered by heaven. And in that silent sky where engines cease and hearts are still, he learned what every soul must learn, that redemption needs no runway and eternity keeps no clocks. Lieutenant Decker, now on permanent assignment in a squadron where the orders are peace, the enemy is illusion, and the mission is truth. Somewhere between heaven and earth, between maps and miles, in that cloud of light they call the Twilight Zone.